Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right? Eating healthy snacks, trying not to overeat, choosing apples instead of chips, granola bars instead of candy, and yet you're still hungry. You're still tired, craving sugar, you're gaining weight, and still struggling to have normal blood sugars. What if I told you? The issue may not only be what you're eating, but it may be how often you're eating. And what if constant snacking is keeping your insulin elevated all day long, never allowing your body to rest? Let's talk about it. If you're tired of sugar cravings, brain fog, fatigue, and all the conflicting health and diet advice, and you just want to know what's happening inside of your body, you're in the right place. I'm TaShawn Davis, holistic health coach, registered nurse, and metabolic health educator. I help you break sugar cravings through balanced blood sugar so you can take your health back naturally. So grab your favorite sugar-free drink, pop in those earbuds, and let's learn how to work with our body and not against it. Before we jump in, I just wanted to remind you that we do have our free Facebook community, Health Beyond Weight Loss and Metabolic Health and Insulin Resistance. There you can find accountability partners. You can see us on the radio show and just have a good time in community with one another. And if you're feeling stuck, don't forget that I can offer you a 15-minute free consultations. The link is always in the show notes. So recently I was coaching somebody with type 2 diabetes, and he genuinely wanted to get better. He was trying, he was motivated, and he was making better choices, to be honest. But every day he found himself snacking, and it was because his blood sugar was going down. And it was going down in the mornings, which means at nighttime that he was snacking on something that he shouldn't have been snacking on. And he was eating things that continue to make his insulin work harder. Things like crackers and butter, apples, and then the recovery process was in the morning where he would choose to eat apples or a half a banana because his blood sugar had gone down during the middle of the night. This guy I'm coaching on the radio station every Tuesday. He's been very honest with the listeners and telling his story, but we have had to talk about the snacking because we think often if we're eating the healthy and nutritious foods that it's not an issue. However, all snacking causes insulin and sugar to elevate. But we'll get into that a little bit later. So when people think that snacking is not snacking if they're choosing healthy foods like apple, bananas, oranges, trail mix, granola bars, etc., they're missing a key point. And this is why many people get confused because they think that snacking only counts if it's junk food, but your body still responds to food, even healthy food, especially if insulin resistance is already present. And I had to explain to him, your body may never be getting a break. And friends, this is important because insulin resistance is not only about what we eat, it's also about the frequency, our hormones, timing, recovery, and allowing the body to regulate itself. Remember, y'all, don't be hard on yourself if you feel like you've been doing everything right. You don't know what you don't know. So let's break this down simply. Every time we eat, our body releases insulin. Insulin's job is to move sugar out of the bloodstream and into the cells. That's normal. But when insulin stays elevated all day, the body can begin losing sensitivity to it. That's insulin resistance. And many people today are eating from the moment they wake up until the moment they go to sleep. Coffee with sugar, then a snack. Lunch, then a snack of a protein bar, fruit, trail mix, and then they have dinner, dessert, and a bedtime snack. The body never gets a chance to rest. And hear me, I am not saying that food is bad. Of course, food isn't bad. We need the nourishment. I'm saying many people with insulin resistance may need to learn how to eat more intentionally because healing requires rhythm. And this is where the hormones like ghrelin and leptin come in. Ghrelin is often called the hunger hormone, and leptin helps signal fullness and satiety. But when sugar is constantly spiking and insulin is constantly elevated, those hunger and fullness signals can become dysregulated, which means you may feel hungry even when your body has enough stored energy. You may crave quick energy foods. You may constantly think about food, and you may lose touch with the natural fullness cues. And many people think, my body is broken, but sometimes the body is simply overwhelmed. Many people think that they have a food problem when they may actually have an insulin problem. See, when your hormones are dysregulated, you cannot really control that until you control it with the right interventions, okay? So let's make sure that we're paying attention because it is a system, it is a process in insulin resistance. It's a hormonal issue that is being dysregulated from insulin to ghrelin to leptin and more. And I remember Bruce's story. Remember, this was episode 6 when Bruce was able to give his testimony in his own words. If you haven't heard episode 6, I would highly suggest you go listen to it. I love his accent, his energy, his enthusiasm. He's amazing, and his testimony is also. But Bruce was shocked when I told him he may actually need to eat more nourishing foods, not less. So I told him to eat more and not less because his body had been under fueled nutritionally for so long. And once he started prioritizing protein, healthy fats, and nourishing meals, instead of constantly chasing quick snacks and hunger, his body began responding differently. He lost weight and even came off of oxygen. Can you believe that? Many of us don't connect these dots, but in this podcast, that's what I do. I connect the dots of insulin resistance. And so the breathing issue that he had to the point of oxygen, he was off oxygen quickly, like within a week. And his energy improved. He said he felt like he was a 31-year-old and he was 61 years old. Beautiful testimony. Because the body finally had nourishment, stability, and a chance to regulate itself. And this is also why fasting can be such a helpful tool for some people. Not as a punishment, not starvation, not obsession, but simply allowing the body time between meals. Just time to kick back, put your feet up, and say, hey, we're chilling. We're not hungry. We're good. And sometimes we have to talk to our body. You know, the Bible says, I command my soul to bless the Lord. Sometimes you have to be like, look, body, we not hungry. We're going to sit here and be still and wait for the next meal. We're not doing all of that. I tell my body what to do instead of my body telling me what to do. I'm the ruler over this flesh. I'm the ruler over this thing, okay? So back to the story. But simply allowing the body time between meals is what fasting is. Time for the insulin to come down. Time to access the stored energy. We want to burn that fat, right? We don't want to continue to have to burn sugar and poison because your body's like, Mayday, Mayday, something's going on. And so we need to regulate all that. And sometimes the goal is not eating less, but it's eating better and less often. That's where it becomes very different. So, what are some practical things that we can start to do today to help this insulin come down and to not snack as much, to get rid of those snack cravings? If you prioritize healthy fats and protein, your body will feel fuller longer. And we have to stop grazing all day. Start with 3 meals. Drink water with electrolytes. Learn the difference between the hunger and habits. Just because it's 12 noon doesn't mean it's lunchtime. Just because it's 5 p.m., it doesn't mean that it's dinner time. It may be a habit that I must eat every day, or if I'm going to the movies, I must have popcorn or things like that. We can change that expression. We don't have to be a slave to this world's thinking. We don't have to be a slave to how things have been done or even how our family has done it before. We can do better. We need to pay attention to cravings after high carb snacks because you're going to crave more. The deep calls to the deep, so it's going to want more. Try allowing more intentional space between meals if appropriate for you. It's the 3 meals. and you should naturally go into a fasting mode. But you got to learn how to stop snacking first because it gets better. The body does so much better when you can truly do intermittent fasting the correct way. We need to focus on blood sugar stability instead of constantly chasing snacks. And most importantly, we need to be patient with ourselves. Be patient with your body. After you done told it what to do, it may fight you back. But go ahead and be patient and just be like, listen, we're not doing it, period. And I'm going to wait on it. One of the things that is important in the word, it says, submit to God, resist the devil, and he'll flee from you. And this is part of it because our body shouldn't be ruling us. Anything that we can't stop thinking about or doing is an idol. So let's make sure that we are doing the right thing, keeping God in his place. This food should not rule us. Our body wants balance. Your body wants healing. And many people have simply never been taught how insulin works. But when you understand the why, you'll stop feeling crazy, like you're doing everything right and nothing's working. So if this episode has helped you, it resonates with you, go back and listen to episode 13. It talks about gaining weight while you're still eating healthy and your blood sugar is still elevating. Episode 14 was the fatty liver one that's so important because so many children are being diagnosed with this disease process. And all of these episodes tie together. So you will learn and build stacks upon stacks and understanding upon understanding. Remember, we don't know what we don't know. So when you know better, we will do better, okay? If you're ready to begin improving your metabolic health, grab my free 3-day sugar reset guide in the show notes. And if you'd like personalized coaching to support you, schedule a 15-minute call with me at www.writethevision22.com. Health beyond weight loss, metabolic health, and insulin resistance. We would love to have you there and see your beautiful smiling face. All right, friends. Remember, consistency is the key. Don't despise the time that it will take to heal. That time is going to pass anyways. I'll see you in the next episode. Alrighty, my friend. If this episode has helped you understand your body a little bit better and helped you have the confidence to make better informed healthcare decisions, share it with someone you know who may be struggling with sugar cravings, brain fog, or fatigue, because they may not even realize that blood sugar could be the reason. And also leave a review because it really helps more people find this. Remember, the goal is to reverse 1 million type 2 diabetes in my lifetime. And as always, I want to remind you the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. And some people are fighting every day just to have the health and energy to live their everyday life that they were called to live. So I am praying for your health. I am praying for your strength, and I'll see you in the next episode.